This video is a guide to help you complete the Microsoft Excel task to create a profit and loss chart using the data that you found during the profit and loss section. So in Microsoft Excel, by now you should have created the tables and you should have put the formulas in, so you have the same data that I have on my Excel sheet here. So to create a profit and loss line graph, there's 4 pieces of information we need. One is the total revenue, one is the fixed costs, one is the variable cost, and one is the total costs. So we need to highlight them 4 pieces of information. So if you highlight the total costs and then press and hold CTRL on your keyboard and then highlight the fixed costs, variable costs and total costs with all of the information, you should now have all 4 highlighted like so. When you've done that, you can click on the insert ribbon, which is the top left hand side of the screen, and then in the chart section the down arrow for line graph and choose the top left option. We now have a profit and loss line graph. The data along the bottom, however, is not quite right. This is supposed to be output number of coffees per day. So to change the data across the bottom of the graph, if I right click and then go to select data, on the right hand side here for the horizontal axis, if I click edit and then highlight the data in the output number of coffees per day. OK and OK. That's now showing 0 coffees, 100 coffees, 200 coffees, etc. As you can see on this graph, the variable costs and the total costs are always the same distance apart. The reason why is the variable costs plus the fixed costs equal the total costs, and because the fixed cost is a straight line here, the total costs are always, in this case, £300 more than the variable costs. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to label the axis here. So I've just made that a little bit smaller. Make it smaller this way also, so I can put a title in. This here is called the legend. So to label, insert, text box, draw my text box there, and output coffees per day. So that's that labelled, and I'm going to put a title in. Same again, insert, text box, and title, profit and loss chart. Okay, done. You might want to jazz that up by adding a picture to it, so it looks like this one maybe. Up to you. If you want to add a picture, then make it look nice. As you can clearly see from the line graph now, this line is the total money that we've taken from selling coffees, and this line is the total costs, including rent, staff and materials that go into making the coffee, such as the coffee beans. At this point here where the 2 lines meet, this is called the break-even point. This is the point of which we're neither making a profit nor making a loss. Anything above this line we make a profit, anything below this line and we're making a loss. On this line, because our profit is 0, and that's called the break-even point. We can clearly see that in this case we need to be earning £400 today to break even. Next, I'm quickly going to show you the advantage of using Excel for this. For if we want to change any details, we can quickly see the effects of them. So let's say, for example, we were going to hire some or rent some larger premises, and that would take our fixed costs up from £300 a day to, let's say, £400 a day. So if I change these figures to £400, we can quickly see on this chart that our break-even point has now gone up to £550. So we need to be selling £550 worth of coffees to break even. You can also see that these two lines are still the same distance apart. There are actually £400 difference between the two. Okay, now you try.